Welcome to Keep Learning. In this video, we will be discussing about morphology of permanent maxillary canines. Total, there are 4 canines in the oral cavity placed at the corners of the mouth. Each one is the third tooth from the medial line, right and left in the maxilla and the mandible. They are commonly referred to as cornerstone of the dental arches. These are the longest teeth in the mouth. The maxillary and mandibular canines bear a close resemblance to each other and their functions are closely related. So before going into topic, I want to explain some basic concepts about the terminology. Like there are some words mesial, distal, labial, lingual aspects. They are nothing but I will explain. That suppose this is the oral cavity. We have the tooths, the central, laterals, canines, premolars and the molars. If this is the midline, if the tooth towards the midline is called the mesial aspect, and the tooth and the surface distal to the midline, this is called the distal aspect. For every tooth it is same. For the lateral incisor, the mesial aspect is towards the midline and the distal aspect is towards the distal side. And labial surface is nothing but the surface which we see that is behind the lips. Labial is the lips, so behind the lips it is the labial surface. And lingual aspect is inside where the tongue is present. This is called lingual aspect. Let's start. This is the labial aspect of the canine. This is the left canine I have drawn. So this is the labial aspect which you are seeing, and this is the distal aspect. Here the mesial aspect. Imagine yourself the tooth your left canine so that it can be easy. So let's start. In this labial aspect, this tooth looks narrow than central incisor. And next, the cervical line is convex. This is the cervical line and the convexity towards the root side. The cervical line is convexity towards root side, root portion. And also the mesial outline is convex. This is the mesial outline. It is convex from cervical line till the contact point. The contact point is near the junction between the incisal third and the middle third. If we divide the crown into 3 parts like incisal third, middle third and cervical third, the junction between the incisal and the middle third, this is the contact point. So the mesial outline is convex till the contact point. And next, distal outline is some concave from the cervical line. It is concave and slightly forms a straight line. And straight. And also the crown has 2 slopes, mesial and distal slopes. And distal slope. Mesial slope is somewhat shorter and distal slope is longer. Here we can see this is the mesial slope. It is shorter and the distal slope is longer. And the labial surface is smooth totally without any depressions or deviations. The surface is smooth and it has a prominence in the middle from cervical line to the tip of the cusp. It is called a labial ridge. The labial surface of the root is conical in shape. It tapers apically and with a blunt apex. The root is conical with blunty apex. Labial surface of the root is convex at all the points. This is about the labial aspect. Let's see about the lingual aspect. So from the lingual aspect, This is the mesial and the distal side of the crown. From the mesial aspect, it looks more narrower than the labial aspect. The crown appears more narrow than labial aspect. And next, the cervical line is not that much convex, but it is nearly straight. Cervical line is nearly straight and that not have that much curvature. And next, cingulum is large. It has large cingulum. This is the cingulum part, the bulkiest part in the lingual side of the tooth. It is large. The lingual surface has some ridges and some concavities called fossas. Let's see them. The ridge is the elevation here. The distal side is called distal ridge, and towards the mesial side is called the mesial ridge, and also has a lingual ridge in the lingual aspect. So there is an elevation at margins called distal and mesial marginal ridges, and centrally lingual ridge. This is coming from the cingulum till the cusp tip. It forms a ridge, and this lingual surface also has some concavities called fossas. There are two fossa, that is, this is the mesial fossa and the distal fossa. In between the ridges, beside the lingual ridge, there are two fossae, mesial ridge and distal ridge. Sorry, mesial fossa and distal fossa between the ridges. This is about the crown. Coming to the root. The root of the lingual aspect is still narrow. It appears more narrower, and it is convex at all points. It appears just convex at all the points. Next, coming to mesial aspect, the diameter is more. Labiolingually, it is more diameter compared to mesiodistally. So it is the bulkiest from this aspect. The shape is wedge shaped. We can see here it is looks like a wedge. So the shape of the crown is a wedge shape, similar to the triangle. Next, this is the labial aspect and this is the lingual aspect. The labial outline shows convexities and some concave. Starting from the cervical line, it has a little concavity until next it continues as convex and a straight line till the cusp tip. So labial outline is convex. And coming to lingual outline, it has convexities and concave. First, from the cervical outline, it shows the convexities to represent the cingulum. At the cingulum area, it is convex and slightly concave, and again it shows the convexity near the incisal edge. So, lingual outline has convex and concavities. Coming to mesial aspect, from seeing this in this way, it has all convexities except the area above the contact area. In the contact area, this area is a little shallow. It has a little shallow in the contact area. Contact area in the mesial aspect has concavity. Apart from this, all the surface is with a convex. That's it about the crown. And coming to the root, the mesial surface of the root has shallow developmental depression. The surface has in the mesial aspect, a root surface has a shallow developmental depression which helps in anchoring the tooth in the socket, and it prevents the rotation of the tooth and displacement. This is about the mesial aspect. Okay, let's see about the distal aspect. Distal is nearly same as like the mesial aspect with some differences. The cervical line is not much curved. Cervical line has less curvature compared to mesial aspect. This is the cervical line. This is less curved, but in the mesial aspect it has a little more curvature towards the cusp tip. So in the distal aspect it has a cervical line is less curved, less curvature. And next, the surface has more concavities compared to mesial aspect. More concavity. These are the differences on the crown. And coming to root is also same, but a little difference is on the root. Development depression on root is more pronounced. So compared to mesial aspect, the distal surface has these many differences, and nothing but everything is almost nearly same. Next, about the incisal aspect. From the incisal aspect, we can see a cingulum here and cusp ridges. This is the distal cusp ridge and mesial cusp ridge. That is, this is a labial aspect. From here it is a lingual aspect. We can see the great cingulum here in this way projected, and from the labial crest of curvature is more. We can see that, can appreciate in the incisal aspect. And also fossas, distal lingual fossa and mesial lingual fossa. This is the labial aspect. Here is a labial ridge. We can also see cingulum, distal cuspal ridge, mesial cuspal ridge, distal lingual fossa and mesial lingual fossa. This can be appreciated from the incisal aspect.